Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Today I'm going to be unboxing Twilight 2000. This was sent to me by Free League Publishing for the purposes of doing some review videos and stuff for it. So I really want to thank them for sending this out to me. I really do appreciate it. Now, similar to all my other reviews, they're not influencing the video, they're not sponsoring it or paying for it or pre-screening the video, nothing along those lines. So the opinions that I express are 100% completely and totally my own. Now, this is not a review at this point. This is like very early impressions, but I want to at least do an unboxing, show you what's in here, and just share my thoughts of having skimmed through it, but really had a chance yet to thoroughly read through it. When I first did a video like a new game stuff video where I had shown that this was sent to me, I think I mistakenly referred to it as a starter set, and I kind of thought that's what it was, but this is actually a box set that contains the full RPG. So this isn't just like the starter set rules. This is the full game. It's just coming in a box set as opposed to like, a series of like hardcover books. And as someone who's a sucker for box sets and someone who loves box sets, I was really like surprised. Like I remember the first thing when I, pulled this out of the box was thinking like, this is really heavy for a starter set. So yeah, I was incorrect there. People did point out that it is the full rule set, so I do appreciate that. So Twilight 2000, this is an updated version of the role-playing game, and it basically takes place in an alternate reality. I was going to say alternate future, but it's actually takes place at this point in time, 22 years in the past. But basically, it's this one where World War III had happened and was sort of like in the aftermath, I guess, of World War III or during that time period. It's like I said, alternate history. So the Soviet Union, never dissolved and things obviously escalated. So we're just going to open up the box right away and we're just going to take a look inside. And like I said, this thing is absolutely packed. So just taking a look here. This is like right up to the brim and there's no spacer. There's no like anything taking up extra room. I've got the cards here. I'm going to actually save these probably for the proper review video just because I want something to keep the cards together so they're not just sliding around in the box. But, these are great accessories. It reminds me kind of the Alien starter set, which again, this isn't a starter set, but it reminds me of some of the stuff that was in there. So you've got like the initiative cards, but you also have things like, which actions have been used. So you can maybe turn the card certain ways towards you so you can see what's been used, like no action's been used, and then your fast action's been used or your slow action's been used, and then you've used both of them for the round. So I actually kind of like that. And the card system for initiative, it's kind of cool. Like I have to say I do like it. It works better, in my opinion, for in-person games as opposed to like online, but it's still really, really cool, and I appreciate that they have it there. So I will open the card setup in probably a later video, just that way I can, like I said, have something to keep them sort of together or even bound together, which I just don't have right now. So, but you do get like this thick set of cards. There's like encounters. There's probably equipment and stuff in there as well. It's pretty normal for like the Free League stuff that I've seen so far. So we've got those. We've got a whole bunch of dice here. So we got some D6s. And so we have some like regular kind of D6s. We've got some D8s, D10s, and a couple of D12s. We also have a hit location dice, which is pretty cool. We got like arms, legs, torso, headshot. So that's really cool. So hit location is something in the game. Like I said, I haven't read the rules yet, or not much of the rules yet. I just sort of started skimming it, but really, really cool. We'll get sort of into the dice here in no, let's talk about the dice right now. So this uses a system kind of similar to what we had with like the Alien role-playing game or the Vossen RPG, where you basically roll your dice for your attribute and your skills or whatever, and you're looking to roll a 6, or you're looking to roll a 6. Like you only succeed on a 6, and you like any other number doesn't really count towards anything, unless there's like certain circumstances like Alien had the stress dice and all that. But what's cool about this one is instead of rolling like a pool of dice, you just typically roll 2. Or at least that's part of the rules that I've read so far. But you roll 2 dice, one for your attribute, one for your skill. And with this, I believe it's just with the skill, but again, this isn't the review. This is just early impression stuff. But the skills can actually, the more proficient you are, the better trained you are in skills, the more experience you have with them, you actually start to unlock different dice you can roll. So instead of just rolling like the d6s that we have here, eventually you could roll like a d6 and a d8. And if you're rolling a d8, you get a success, and it gives you like the little target bullseye thing there, like that's the, or the crosshairs. That's a success, right? So on a D8, you succeed on a 6, 7, or 8. So the more skilled you are, the greater chance you have to succeed, which makes sense, and I like that. On a D10, if you roll a 10, you can actually see there, if it'll focus. It may not focus, because... All right, let's actually take the dice out. So on the D10, on the 10 side, you have 2 successes. So once you get to the D10, if you roll a 10, you get 2 successes. And if you're rolling a D12, you get 2 successes on a 10, 11, or 12, as well as a regular success on a 6, 7, or 8. So if you're rolling a D12, you have like a 50% chance of getting at least 1 success on the die. So I kind of like that system. I like the idea of the better you are at something, obviously, the better chances you have to succeed. And as somebody who's picked up a handful of like 14 6-sided dice and not rolled a single 6 on all 14 of them, I kind of like the better chances on a smaller amount of dice. Either way, I think it's a really cool system, so I like that. But yeah, so instead of just like the pool of d6s, you get like a d6 for your attribute. And starting off, it's like a d6 for your skills, so you roll the 2 of those. But as you get better and better, you can start to unlock higher number dice. I'm not entirely sure what these ones are for as of yet. Like I said, I haven't gotten very far into the rules. But yeah, just again, really nice. And again, it's nice to have like a full set of these dice. So I believe you could probably buy these separately, or with some of their other systems, you can buy the stuff separately. But it's really cool that it's included in the set, and it's everything that you need right there. So that's awesome. Let me just have their games catalog thing. Now, I'm not going to show too much of this stuff off, but these look like they're probably like handouts or aids for some of the scenarios that might be included with the I think it's called the referee's book. But yeah, it's really cool. It looks like a file you would find for like a military engagement or intel. Just really cool stuff there. I love that. Then we've got a huge map here, which I'm not going to unfold in its entirety, but it's like a hex map. I think there's like hex exploration systems in here as well, which is, I always love like exploration mechanics, so, or hex crawling, whatever you want to call it. So that's really cool to have. We also have what looks like a some sort of either base of operations or an area that the players may have to infiltrate. So just some maps there. Again, awesome stuff. I love the way that they're designed as well. They look really cool. So we got a couple of those, and then we get into our rule book. So I'm actually going to just set the rule books aside for a second here, because there's some more stuff in here that I just want to show off before we get too far. So we got our character sheets. There are 5 different, I think there's 5 character sheets here in total. It's a nice thick stock of paper too, so it would hold up a little bit better to repeated use than like your regular printer paper, so that's cool. I would still print these off though, because I'm one of those people that can't bring myself to write on something that comes in a box set. It's probably a sickness, and I freely admit that, but you get 5 character sheets, no pre-gen characters in here anyway. Because this is a full RPG and not just starter set. And then we got a few more maps. These are just single piece that they don't fold out. But again, you've got the hexes, probably for your movement. And yeah, it's just really cool. Like there's a ton of these in here. So you're gonna get like a lot of good use, I think, out of what they have. Like you got some roads, intersections, some buildings, sort of more of an urban setting. Definitely with some destruction, because it is kind of like post-apocalyptic, or retro-apocalyptic, I think is the term that they use. So tons of maps there. And then we have some tokens that you can use throughout the game as well. So it looks like you've got like different types of soldiers. And then you've got like, tanks and like different, yeah, it's just kind of cool. Like I said, I don't know what all of these are for, although like these ones are pretty self-explanatory. I would assume that blue is probably friendly or player characters, and red is probably enemies. Yellow, I don't know what yellow might be. It could be like neutral or whatever. But then we've got all these different things that you can use as well for like fires, smoke, marking minefields. That's really cool. So yeah, just overall, a lot of really nice stuff in there. I love the maps. The maps are awesome. I also love the fact that, again, like the character sheets have like the little paper clip there, like they're actually like a personnel file. I think that's really cool as well. All right, and then finally, we've got the books. We've got the player's manual, and we've got the referee's manual. So yes, they do refer to it is refereeing and not like game master or GM or anything along those lines, and that's cool. This like, you know, and this is just like first impressions, but this really does kind of give me almost a vibe of like the old tabletop like war strategy like recreation games. So, you know, back then you were called a referee, so it's cool. I actually like it. So the player's manual gives us character creation. And again, like the artwork in these books are absolutely fan. Like that is like the one thing that I've really come to expect from Free League is just some really fantastic art all around. And yeah, I like the styles in here. I think there's some really awesome, it's just some really fantastic artwork in here. And I like even like these, you know, like the character ones. They're not quite as like photorealistic as some of the other stuff that's in here, but this also gives me kind of like a retro feel as well. For some reason, that maybe it's just me. I've never played the original, I think it was like 1984 version of this game, so like I have no prior knowledge or personal attachment to it, but it does kind of have like a retro feel to it for some reason. And yeah, I think it's cool. And again, you got like some really cool, like, yeah, and the artwork is just fantastic. And again, we've got just the basic rules that I've seen here so far. Oh, the other D6s might be for other ammo dice. Okay. If you push your roll, you must re-roll any ammo. Okay. So that could, yeah, I haven't read ammo dice yet. But one of the things that I really like here is under like how to roll the dice, you've got something called the art of failure. So if you fail on your die roll, so if you don't roll any successes whatsoever, instead of it just being situations like, okay, well, you try it and you fail, or like you shoot and you miss, and that's basically it. This actually kind of encourages you. It says, feel free to elaborate on why, with the help of the referee. You failed to achieve the goal, but something for some reason. So you can collaborate with the referee to basically like try to come up with a reason why you failed, something that could take effect or be, you know, something that could impact other players' turns. So yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. So if you're like in an active war zone, you might be lining up a shot and you miss, but you miss because maybe like a mortar round hits and it causes, you know, like everyone to sort of potentially like, you know, either take damage or have to take cover. So I think it's just kind of cool. I always love systems that allow for that sort of collaborative storytelling based on the results of the die rolls. Like the other examples I can think of off the top of my head are like the Star Wars RPG and even like Star Trek Adventures. You can kind of do that as well. So I love the fact that that's in there. Instead of it just simply being like you fail or you miss, like be creative and try to come up with something other than your aim was off, right? You know, maybe you could say that somebody, you know, was like reflecting like sunlight into your eyes or something like that, but which may make it so that maybe you miss, but the other characters might be able to spot maybe like a sniper or something who was trying to blind somebody. There's just stuff that you could do. Maybe not a sniper, but someone that's trying to hide, and maybe they're not even intentionally doing it. Maybe it's just something that they have on them is reflecting the sunlight. And I don't know. I like that concept. I think it's really, really cool. So again, I think there was some, yeah, like hex features, hexploration. So just some awesome stuff there. It just, again, ton of great stuff. Goes over like your character creation, the equipment. So again, these are probably like some of the cards that are included would be like the different weapons and equipment. Vehicles. Again, just a ton of cool stuff in here. You know, travel section. And this is all stuff that basically players would need to know. So it's all in the player's book. And then we've got the referee's manual. Nice quality feel to the covers as well. Like it's soft cover, but it's a nice kind of thick paper stock. It's a little bit more of like a matte feel to it. I would almost describe it as semi-gloss. But yeah, it feels really high quality. The binding feels nice on it. Like I'm not worried about pages falling out. I do Cradle books anyway, so it's not something I normally have to worry about, but I just think that overall, like, it's just really, really well put together. Now that is, again, an awesome picture. So the referee's book sort of gives you, it fills in like the events of the world, what's led up to the current time frame that we're in. So it's basically like some campaign setting stuff, some different scenarios, different locations, which is, again, it's good to have your job as the referee. And then encounters, how, like, designing them, or what creatures that you may, not creatures, but what things you may come up against. Rumors, mood elements, I like that as well. Factions of forces, so just a lot of really cool stuff in here as well. Scenario sites, so I believe these are like ready-made scenarios that you can use. Shows you which maps to utilize as well. So overall, it's just, again, really, really cool system. I do plan on doing a more thorough review once I've had a chance to read more of it. But just as far as general impressions go, and like I said, just getting the unboxing done so you can see sort of what's all in here. This is a fantastic, it's just a fantastic product overall. Like, Free League has always done, like, from the stuff that I've seen of them, the stuff that they've sent me, the stuff that I've seen other people, pick up from them, they've just always do really fantastic work, right? And I like their rule system. I like, just the way they present stuff, and this is definitely no exception. Like, this is an RPG that I'd never heard of until I saw it sort of getting like a press release saying that it's out or available. And so, like I said, I have no prior knowledge. I have no personal or attachment or history with it. But as soon as I started looking through this, it's like, okay, I want to try running this. So one of my goals for 2022 is to run, even if it's like a one-shot, just pick one of the scenarios out of the referee's manual and run that for players. Like but I want to try this out. It just seems like such a cool concept. I love the alternate history, sort of scenarios just in general. And if nothing else, I'm going to get a kick out of just reading the alternate history to sort of see what key events that they've changed to get to the point where, we basically went through, or, are into like a third world war in the year 2000. So definitely cool. If you're interested, if anything that you saw here intrigues you, definitely check this out with your local game store, see if they might be able to get copies in if they don't have them in store already. But yeah, this is something that I think I'm really going to enjoy. I just need to spend a little bit more time with it. But I've had this for a little while. It's just that the time it arrived is when I ended up getting sick with a really bad sinus infection, and then the holidays kicked in, and I just got my booster shot like within the last week, so I was pretty much dead from that for a few days. So I just never really had much time to focus on this product yet. But I definitely want to now. So the full review will probably come out in about a couple weeks time. Give myself a little bit of leeway so I can get a good read of the rules, and I might even do a video where I create a character, show you how that's done, maybe even do just a mock combat, similar to what I did with the Alien role-playing game. So we'll I'm going to try to get some of those out and then get my full review. But so far, just for early first impressions, I think this is going to be a lot of fun to go through. I think it's a really cool concept. And I don't know, I just love I just love what I've seen so far. So I'm definitely intrigued to fully learn the rule set, and like I said, try to get a game or two in sometime this year. But anyway, let me know in the comments below if you guys have picked up Twilight 2000, what your thoughts are on it. Did you play the earlier versions of the game, or is this like your first experience with it? And if you picked up this set in particular, yeah, let me know what your experience has been with it so far. If you've gotten to run scenarios, how those went for you. I think it's going to be really cool. Plus, if you have any general advice on the system, just in case it takes me a little bit to get to it, let me know that as well. But yeah, I'm so far, like I said, I love the escalating dice instead of the dice pool, and I think, like I said, as someone who rolls crappy, I feel better rolling crappy on 2 dice than 14. So this might be a system tailor-made for me. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you again to Free League for sending this out. I really do appreciate it. I can't wait to dive into this a little bit more. But until then, I hope everybody has a great, day, week, evening, whatever time it is that you're watching this. I do appreciate it, and wishing you nothing but the best. Until next time, take care.